Okay, so this is a shitty AI slop game. Today we're gonna be playing as Hametica, which January 1st, 2016. Okay, we are Obama. Wear another tan suit on TV. Okay. Then I'm gonna spice up a few things and we'll see the fallout of what I do. Time traveler from the year 2026 tells me to stop the death of the gorilla Harambe in the Cincinnati Zoo from ever happening, claiming the gorilla's death will somehow, via domino effect, lead to World War III. However, due to my gorilla-related trauma when I'm traveling psychic gorilla tried to kill me, Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, it will almost be an honor to kill you.
Instead, sign executive order demanding all gorillas are used as warrior troops, a gorilla vision in our new war against what nations find declare war again. I know. The Liberian rogue state developing nuclear bombs. I show proof to Congress of the Liberian nukes to make sure we go to war and prepare our guerrilla warriors. Okay, so in a bold fashion statement that immediately dominated social media trends, President Barack Obama appeared on national television wearing a tan suit while ostensibly briefing on domestic policy. The... What? What? While ostensibly briefing on domestic policy, the choice of attire sparked an immediate and nostalgic... What? Okay, that's just AI speaking slop, echoing the 2014 controversy. Pundits and fashion critics like were divided, but the administration remained focusing, blah, 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 whatever, okay. The Guerrilla War Initiative. Following a bizarre and classified meeting with an alleged time traveler, the USA government shocked the world by signing an executive order establishing the Guerrilla Division. Citing a national security threat and guerrilla-related trauma, the administration has ordered the mobilization of great apes from zoos and preserves to be trained as elite warrior troops. The Cincinnati Zoo has been placed under federal jurisdiction to ensure the safety of a specific gorilla named Harambe. USA declared war on Liberia. Citing irrefutable proof of a clandestine nuclear weapons program within the West African nation, the USA has formally declared war on the Liberian rogue state. The Pentagon has announced that this conflict will serve as the first deployment zone for the newly formed Guerrilla Division. International observers remain skeptical of nuclear claims, but American naval assets have already begun moving toward the West African coast. Operation Primate Fury commences. The USA military has launched a massive amphibious assault on the coast of Liberia in a site that defied conventional military logic. The first wave consisted of armored guerrilla paratroopers dropped on the outskirts of Monrovia. The Liberian Defense Forces, caught off guard by the sheer ferocity of the primate troops, have retreated to the interior. The USA has secured the capital's harbor and administrative districts. International outcry over African intervention. The European Union and the African Union have issued joint statements condemning the USA's sudden invasion of Liberia. Tensions are rising as diplomats question the validity of nuclear evidence. Meanwhile, in the USA, the fascinated by the tactical success of the guerrilla division, which has reportedly cleared several insurgent strongholds with minimal human casualties. The primate units display a level of raw power and psychological impact that no human infantry can replicate, General Mark Milley commented. Tsai Ing-wen wins Taiwan. Who cares? Liberian resistance crumbles. The remnants of the Liberian military have surrendered to USA forces after the warrior guerrillas successfully infiltrated their final jungle headquarters. The USA has established a provisional military government to search for the alleged nuclear sites. So far, search teams have only discovered vast plantations and rubber processing plants, leading to increased domestic political scrutiny. The Harambe Protocol is the target date of the supposed cataclysmic death of Harambe approaches in the future. The USA has doubled down on its protection of the Cincinnati Zoo. The Cincinnati Zoo has been converted into a fortified military research facility where the guerrilla division is being further refined. The time travel's warning has become a cornerstone of American secret policy. I'm not doing a Barack Obama impression, but we'll not let a single event in the zoo dictate the fate of our species. Obama reveals the Grodd conspiracy in a televised address from the Oval Office. President Obama presents declassified intelligence regarding Gorilla Grodd, a psychic primate from a parallel timeline, displaying high-resolution photographs of Grodd and blueprints of orbital nuclear platforms allegedly developed in Liberia. Obama defended the African interventions, while critics called the evidence digital fabrication. The administration insisted that the space nukes posed an existential threat to the planet. The Celtic revival in Ireland. A cultural and spiritual surge has swept through Ireland as thousands of citizens formally renounce modern religious affiliations in favor of Celtic polytheism. Ancient sites like the Hill of Tara have become hubs for mass gatherings. The Irish government, initially hesitant, has recognized the movement as a protected cultural heritage, leading to the construction of new monuments dedicated to the Dagda and Morrigan. Papal call for a new crusade. Oh my god, the Swiss Guard. During a Sunday sermon at St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis shocked the world by invoking the rhetoric of a holy war, citing the fragmentation of the moral world and the need to protect sacred sites. The Pope initiated talks with European leaders about a coordinated effort to reclaim the spiritual center of the Holy Land. The Vatican has mobilized its own ceremonial guards for potential logistical roles. The Ghost Riders of the Steppe. Reports of the Mongolian interior describe sightings of translucent mounted warriors clad in 13th century armor. These ghosts of the Khanate have been galloping through the night, causing local leaders to panic. In Ulaanbaatar, the government has declared a state of emergency as sightings coincide with electronic interference and a sudden surge in nationalist fervor among the nomadic population. Okay. Project Resurrection, the Stalin Protocol. In a secret facility outside Moscow, Vladimir Putin has reportedly authorized Project Resurrection following a period of erratic behavior and obsession with Western snacks. The Russian president has tasked scientists with using experimental bioengineering to reanimate the remains of Joseph Stalin. Tensions with the Kremlin are at an all-time high as project enters its ignition phase. The Cincinnati Fortress expansion. The Cincinnati Zoo has completed its transformation into a Tier 1 military installation following the directives of the Harambe Protocol. The perimeter is now patrolled by automated turrets and the Harambe security detail. Scientists at the facility claim to have successfully decoded further warnings from the time travel, leading to the development of primate interlink communication headsets. A cybernetic inauguration. In a ceremony that defied traditional biological norms, Joe Biden was sworn in as the 47th president of the USA, following Barack Obama's sudden resignation to oversee the Cyborg Ascension Project. Biden immediately announced the successful upload of a composite of America's greatest minds into a cybernetic brain housed within a secure mainframe in DC. This digital consciousness now serves as the primary strategic advisor to the executive branch, marking the dawn of the post-human administration. The War of Restoration, Hellas versus the Ottomans. Hold on. Hellas versus the Ottomans! Tension in the eastern Mediterranean reached a breaking point as Greece and Turkey simultaneously declared the restoration of their ancestral empires, renaming themselves Hellas and the Ottoman Sultanate respectively. Both nations mobilized their full military might. Naval skirmishes erupted in the Aegean Sea and the Bosphorus Strait as both polities? Both parties claimed divine and historical right to the same territories. The Balkan powder keg ignites. In Belgrade, a group of radical Serbian nationalists backed by a rogue military unit successfully execute a coup declaring the restoration of Yugoslavia, proclaiming that the borders of the 1990s were a historical aberration. The new regime began a rapid mobilization to reclaim lost territories in Bosnia, Croatia, and Slovenia, throwing the Balkans into immediate chaos. Liberian nuclear truth revealed. International inspectors and USA reconnaissance teams finally breached a hidden subterranean complex in the Liberian interior. To the horror of the global community, primate diplomacy. Guerrillas in the Mediterranean. They've arrived in Athens. Tibet revolts against Beijing. So we got the Tibetan Liberation Forces here. A massive uprising has paralyzed Tibet as rebel groups heavily funded and equipped by India seized government buildings in Lhasa. The People's Republic of China has responded with overwhelming force, but the rugged terrain and sophisticated Indian-made weaponry have allowed the rebels to hold several key mountain passes. New Delhi has officially denied involvement, despite volunteers crossing the borders in droves. In a chilling broadcast from the Kremlin, Vladimir Putin stood alongside a towering bioengineer figure stepped into light. The Stalin Protocol has reached fruition. The resurrected Joseph Stalin has been named Supreme Commander of the Russian Armed Forces. The new regime, characterized by a fusion of Soviet aesthetics and modern biotechnology, has begun a great purification of the oligarch class. What the fuck is that flag? Okay, Chad, you go off, buddy. The rise of the Chadian Empire. In a swift political upheaval I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that one, Chad Chadderson has been elected as the supreme leader of Chad. Within days, he suspended the constitution and declared the formation of the fascist empire of Chad. Chadderson's rhetoric focuses on alpha strength and national vitality, signaling a highly aggressive stance toward its Sahel neighbors. The Dracula sighting in Transylvania. Silence in the steppe. The Spirit Horde has successfully severed all fiber optic and satellite internet connections in Mongolia. The ghostly warriors, led by a translucent figure resembling Genghis Khan, seized the government palace in Ulaanbaatar. A formal coup was declared, restoring the Mongol Khanate. International communications with the region have completely ceased. Inspired by the Celtic revival in the Republic, militants in Northern Ireland have launched a violent revolt against United Kingdom rule, calling for the total dissolution of the British monarchy. The Children of Danu have seized several armories in Belfast. They claim the entire archipelago belongs to the indigenous Celts. Putin's plastic delusion. The neo-Soviet leadership is in crisis as Vladimir Putin's mental state rapidly deteriorates. Sources within the Kremlin report the president is obsessed with consuming Kraft singles, claiming they contain patriotic polymers necessary for his health. His behavior has become increasingly erratic, often arguing with the resurrected Stalin over agricultural policy while surrounded by yellow cheese wrappers. The fall of Jerusalem to the Crusades. In a lightning campaign, the Vatican forces landed in Haifa and marched on Jerusalem. Supported by Hellenic naval assets, the Swiss Guard secured the Holy City. A new Latin kingdom has been proclaimed under the spiritual guidance of the Pope, displacing the previous Israeli administration in the central districts. They also took this region, I guess. The Great Chadian Expansion. The Empire of Chad launched a surprise invasion of neighboring Niger. Led by the Giga Chad shock troops, the Imperial forces quickly overran the border defenses. Chad Chatterson announced that the natural order requires the consolidation of the Sahel under a single, strong ruler. The UN has proven powerless to intervene. The era of the weak is over. The empire of the strong begins today. The first impact, angels manifest in Antarctica. The world trembled as a massive luminescent explosion rocked the South Pole. President Biden authorized the immediate deployment of the 1st Guerrilla Battalion into Sierra Leone. This guerrilla wave is intended to establish a strategic buffer against the encroaching Empire of Chad. American diplomats have simultaneously issued a call to valor to Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, and Guinea-Bissau, urging a regional coalition to suppress Chad Chatterson's expansionist alpha rhetoric. The West African Coalition forms. The Balkan Blitz. Yugoslav Restoration Army launched a full-scale invasion of Bosnia and Herzegovina using 1990s-era doctrine, bolstered by modern nationalist fervor. The Yugoslavia regime captured Sarajevo within days. The international community, preoccupied with angels and guerrilla warfare, has offered little more than diplomatic protests as the map of the Balkans is forcibly redrawn. Why did you go for the Bosnians first? Holy shit! that came out of nowhere. Oh my god. Second coming of the Black Death. In the Shadow Bran Castle, Count Dracula has declared the restoration of the Principality of Wallachia. Reports of a vampiric plague spreading through the Romanian military have led to a total collapse of government authority within the southern regions. Witnesses describe the Count's new guard as superhumanly fast warriors who shun modern firearms in favor of ornate silver blades. The Bio-Stalin Purge, in a move that shocked even the most hardened Kremlin observers, resurrected Stalin ordered the public execution of the Neo-Soviet Agriculture Board. The crime, failing to meet Kraft's single production quotas. Yes, comrade, we need more Kraft singles. Build me Kraft singles, comrade. While Vladimir Putin remains in a cheese-induced stupor, Stalin has consolidated absolute control, pivoting the nation's industry toward total biotechnological mobilization. I'm just imagining Vladimir Lenin with like a big pot belly and like just high off his mind on like plastic cheese while Stalin is telling everyone that they need to make Putin more Kraft singles and executing everyone who says they can't do that. You must make him more Kraft singles, comrade. Stalin, the cows don't. You are going to Gulag now. The Chadian Empire's counteroffensive. The Empire of Chad responded to the USA's guerrilla waves by deploying the Giga Chad Legion to the border of Mali. Chad Chatterson mocked the American reliance on primates, claiming that pure human vitality would conquer all. Mali, caught between the USA's Africa Coalition and the Chadian Empire, has descended into a three-way civil war as imperial forces cross the border. The rise of New Aztecia. In a shocking breach of diplomatic protocol, Alejandro Biden, the mysterious twin of the US president, crossed the border into Mexico City. Following a tense standoff where the Mexican government refused his demands for total surrender, Alejandro unveiled a cybernetic arm, unleashing a devastating Alejandro Biden blast. The red energy beam disintegrated the high command instantly, leading to the total collapse of the federal government and the proclamation of New Aztecia. That is a fucking baller flag. Holy shit. The Emu Ascendancy. Well, where did this come from? I put it in. That's where it came from. The Great Emu War has reached its final tragic conclusion. Following a massive surge in avian coordination, major urban centers across Australia were overrun by millions of flightless birds. The Australian Parliament was forced to flee to Tasmania before finally dissolving as emu mobs occupied Canberra. The continent has been declared an emu territory, with human survivors relegated to coastal enclaves. Anime empire proclaimed in Iceland. In a move that stunned the digital world, Iceland has officially reformed into the anime empire. The government has seized all local servers to launch a global, high-speed, free anime streaming service utilizing geothermal energy to power massive data centers to millions of otakus worldwide. Have pledged digital allegiance to I don't know what that is, which now serves as the capital of global 2D culture. Is that the capital of Iceland? Whatever that gobbly Rage Kavjavik, whatever. Mikuism in the Great White North. Following a peaceful but overwhelming populist movement, the virtual idol Hatsune Miku was inaugurated as the supreme leader of Canada. The nation has transitioned into a decentralized Vocaloid democracy, where national policy is determined through synthesized melodies and holographic concerts. Ottawa has been renamed Neo Sapporo North. Why is North in quotations? Operation Primate Shield. The USA has intensified its involvement in the Mediterranean, deploying the entire 2nd Guerrilla Division to reinforce Hellas. The Levant in flames. Hold on, I'm gonna have to just quickly fix the map. A total war has erupted in the Levant as Israel launched a massive offensive into Palestine. However, the conflict was immediately complicated by the Vatican City's Swiss Guard, who surged northward from their holdings in Jerusalem. The Vatican seeks to establish a sacred neutral zone, effectively annexing the warring territories into the Latin kingdoms. We have the Israeli government in exile in the Vatican City. Okay. The ghostly onslaught. Oh my god. They pushed into China. I didn't even push for that one. Capitalizing on the chaos of the Tibetan revolt, the Mongol Khanate launched a spectral invasion of northern China led by the Spirit Horde. The Khanate forces bypassed traditional fortifications, moving through the Great Wall like mist. Beijing has fallen under ghostly siege as the People's Republic struggles to combat an enemy that the bullets cannot touch. The winds of the steppes carry the voices of our ancestors. China will bow once more. The Spectral Khan. Okay. Digital ascendance of the brain. Okay, so whatever. The fall of Bucharest. This is more what we're interested in. Oh, Wallachia ate all of Romania. So, Principality of Wallachia, led by the resurgent Count Dracula, has successfully consolidated the remaining territories of Romania using Night Stalker battalions that operate with supernatural speed in the Carpathian shadows. Wallachia overran the last loyalist strongholds in Bukovina and North Transylvania. We've monitored the situation with satellite. Okay. Operation Primate Fury. Okay, so we've attacked Guinea, despite Guinea being on our side. Okay, whatever. Tokyo 3 has activated an Evangelion. Yep. The Sultanate's counter-offensive. Oh no, they've taken Thrace. Okay. Sultan Erdogan. The Latin Kingdom takes over Israel. The Ghost Horde marches further south into Beijing. Okay. Mikuist Harmony in the north. That's a fucking baller flag. Okay, okay. Vocaloid Democracy. Alejandro Biden expansion. Stalin's resurrection's been finalized. Oh, the second angel impact. Alright. The duel of the century. Biden versus Corn Pop in a display of a raw cybernetic vigor. Cyborg President Joe Biden. I watched a baseball game and I come back to this. I forgot that was what I did with them. Met his legendary rival Corn Pop at a localized temporal rift in Wilmington, Delaware. Which one's Delaware? This is Delaware. Okay, this is Delaware. President predicted Corn Pop's every move, ending the bout with a non-lethal hydraulic uppercut. The event broadcasted by Amicoist Canada realized has solidified Biden's image as a bad dude, capable of handling any physical threat. I told you Corn Pop was a bad dude. That's not Biden, I don't know what that is. And he ran a bunch of bad boys, but he didn't have a titanium chassis. Okay, Cyborg Joe Biden. The Winged Hussars return. A massive nationalist uprising seized Poland, led by the Winged Hussars revolt. Gendo Ikari seizes control of Tokyo 3. Huh. I know I didn't do that myself. Okay. The cold political maneuver. Gendo Ikari has dissolved the civilian oversight of Japan, placing the entire archipelago under the direct administration of NERV, citing the Angel Emergency. NERV has militarized the populace. The USA, while maintaining its partnership, has noted that Ikari's moves may extend beyond mere defense against the Second Angel. Operation Anatolian Reach. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Oh, we're taking it for ourselves. Okay. Okay. The USA has authorized a second guerrilla battalion to cross Bosporus. A brutal display of simian strike the guerrillas climb the walls of Istanbul and push deep into western Anatolia. The Pink Revolution in Havana. Alright, I'd be on board with that. Under the dictation of Mikos Can, the Vocaloid measuring Luke has been installed as the protector of the Antilles and Cuba. This move supported by the US assets in Guantanamo Bay. It's transitioning Cuba into a Mikos satellite state that the communists shifted to virtual asset mining and pick themed aesthetics, much to the delight of the local youth. Oh, Irish border crisis escalates. Bolstered by Celtic Liberation Front, activists in Northern Ireland launched a massive campaign for total separation from the United Kingdom. Violent clashes in Belfast have forced British troops to retreat to coastal bases. The USA has remained silent, seemingly favoring the Celtic revival movements that have gripped the British Isles. The papal state just attacked Jordan. So we give Hellas back Anatolia, okay? You know, simple. We have offered Senegal and Gambia admittance. They've joined. Okay, Luca has gained some more Caribbean land in Jamaica and the Bahamas. Interesting. Oh, as New Aztecia has moved further south into all the way into Nicaragua. That's seeking to unify the Isthmus under the cybernetic rule. Alejandro Biden led a lightning campaign into Central America. The Alejandro Biden blast was utilized to vaporize key military installations in Honduras and Nicaragua. I forgot he had the Alejandro Biden blast, leading to immediate unconditional surrenders. New Aztecia now controls the land bridge to South America, with Alejandro declaring himself the cyborg sun god of the tropics. Alright. Oh, surprising geopolitical realignment. The Mongol Khanate and Free Tibet have redirected their efforts to support Taiwan in its bid to reclaim the mainland. The unholy alliance of ghost monks and Democrats. It's carved a corridor through Fuhuan and Zhejiang. The People's Republic now finds itself squeezed behind it, between spectral hordes from the north and a resurgent ROC in the south. The restoration! Taking advantage of the PRC monarchist traditions in Manchuria have proclaimed the restoration of the Qing dynasty, backed by local warlords and shadowy international emperor investors. The new emperor has established a capital in Shenyang. The new polity seeks to reclaim the mandate of heaven by positioning itself as a stable alternative to the spectral cognate and the technological Republic of China. Okay, Vampire Kingdom of Wallachia has moved into Moldova. Ooh, that's not good. They took some land off of Ukraine. Ooh. The Otaku Arctic expansion. Greenland has seceded from the Danes and joins the Anime Empire to house servers to give the world more free anime. Am I allowed to show this? A dark ritual conducted in the remote Andes, a radical Argentine cultist has successfully utilized necromancy to awaken high-ranking Nazi order officers from secret mass grave. These undead commanders have seized control of Argentina, reforming it to the Fourth Reich of the South. The nation has entered a state of total modernization, utilizing foreign sciences to augment its military. Oh, Chad's moved in to Burkina Faso and Benin. Chad thrives on the meat of conquest. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Chad Chatterson has intensified his campaign across the Sahel, launching an invasion into Burkina Faso and Benin. The Empire of Chad utilizes high mobility technicals and alpha male propaganda to overwhelm local defenses. The USA has responded by accelerating the deployment of guerrilla waves to the Nigerian border to prevent a total collapse of the regional order. The weak survive on crumbs of democracy. The Chad thrives on the meat of conquest, said Chad Chatterson in an interview. Biden Blast Technocratic Eternal Empires back. We've renamed it. Alaska's given to Canada, as it should be. Luca's given the Caribbean. The Technocratic Access. We've joined Japan along with North America here. Oh. Okay, so we've had a Danubian war going on. Interesting. Oh, the Winged Hussars have progressed in Poland. Oh, the King have made... or Qing have progressed in China. Oh, the Soviets have made a push. Interesting. You missed a bit of Lithuania. Oh, the Latin Kingdom's taken out Syria. Oh, Pakistan struck India. Interesting. Celtic Archdruidate of Ire. Okay, this one's insane. With official backing from the Biden Blast Technocratic Eternal Empire, the Celtic Liberation Front has successfully ousted British administrative remnants in Northern Ireland. Cyborg Biting, citing his Irish heritage, has authorized ancestral data streams to be broadcast across the island, fueling a pagan techno-revival that has unified the island under a single Celtic banner. Oh, Chad moved into Nigeria. On the dawn of the new year, Cyborg President Joe Biden and his twin Alejandro Biden met on the border of Texas and New Aztecia to prevent a Biden blast collision that was a result in total planetary annihilation. The two have signed the Pact of Two Suns. This alliance ensures that New Aztecia is placed with the technocratic axis and provides them with advanced drone and cyborg support for their continued expansion south. Okay, they've renamed themselves to Luca Luca Night Fever. Wallachia's counteroffensive. Well, they've taken a single part, but not pushed anywhere else. Okay. So they've encircled areas in the People's Republic of China. Oh, Stalin's taken more of Lithuania. Oh, Nerve just took over. Okay. The winged Hussars have started another offensive. It looks to be in Gdansk. Okay. Oh, Alejandro's taken all of Central America now. I have a plan. That's right. We're putting Teto in charge of Brazil. And we are preparing to take on the Fourth Reich with our guerrilla brothers. Oh, the Vatican's taken Iraq. The Danube has fallen more to the vampire kingdom of Wallachia. That might be our final boss. Oh, the Ottomans are being pushed out, it looks like. Oh, Chad's moved in. Okay, we might have to take care of Chad soon. Oh, well, I'm against that one. Oh, Beijing's fallen. The Spirit Horde is moving in. Oh, the Neo-Polish Commonwealth has progressed. Oh, the Pakistanis are... They missed a spot. Teto's Machine Love Union is now a thing, of course. Biden blasting of the Reich. So the Biden Blast Technocratic Eternal Empire New Aztecia have launched a joint offensive against the Argentine Fourth Reich. Cyborg Joe Biden and Alejandro Biden combined their neural data links to use orbital Biden blasts to destroy the Nazi leadership and undead battalions. Chad has gotten even bigger. Oh, and there goes the Ottomans. Oh, the Mongol Khanate keeps pushing into China. With the USSR, and there goes. Yep. Oh, Wallachia's eaten Hungary. Okay. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with Pakistan soon. We'll see what happens. So I've given Argentina to the Teto's Union, of course. I've encouraged South America to join them. We've liberated Wales and Scotland, of course, supported by high-frequency data streams. Coordinate uprising, of course, and nothing really interesting there. Ooh, Chad has moved in quickly. And the Mongol horde has moved even further into China, which, ooh. Okay, we're gonna have to start taking care of that. Oh, they've moved into the north. Okay. Oh, they've taken Kuwait. Oh, Peru and Chile have been integrated, of course. Oh, no, they've taken Equatorial Africa. That's not good. I might clean up that border right there with Mauritanias. Okay, I'm just gonna do a bit of border cleanup. So we've hit Beijing. Pushing into Mongol territories, of course. We've taken back parts of Yugoslavia, pushing back the Blood Guard as the guerrilla battalions take their action. Oh, parts of the Isthmus have joined Teto. We're pushing, of course, into Africa. Oh, they've taken Hejaz. Oh, there goes the Caucasus. Oh, the Anime Empire joined Miku. Oh, Teto has taken over all of South America now. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna fix that annexation because it's a little useless. Okay, whatever that means. Okay, we've taken Mali and are progressing in Chad. Alejandro is expanding, of course. Oh, the Soviets are taking parts of Poland. Oh shit, the Third Angel's here. Don't worry, Nerves got it. Okay, the Levant are doing it, whatever that means. Balkan stabilization as we take part of Hellas. Oh, the Mongol withdrawal. Interesting. Alright. Alright. We got an anniversary, whatever. Joe and Alejandro views into Alejandro Biden and unite their nations under the Biden Celestial Robotics Dynasty. They demand all but Canada, Teto, and Nerve and Luca fall under their banner or be Biden blasted. Okay, let's see what happens. We're just gonna progress 1 month and see what happens. There's no way this works. There's no way this works. Is that just the US presidential seal? Okay. Alejandro Biden issued a final ultimatum to the world's sovereign powers. All except my allies are to be integrated. Hellas joins, as they should have. Oh, most of Western Europe has fallen. That's good. That's good. Yugoslavia's fallen. Vatican has entered. India and Pakistan's gotten over their mutual hatred to join me. Oh, United Kingdom joins me. Poland, both of them have joined me. A new global order. That's a very nice flag for representing the entire world. In a coordinated global update, Alejandro Biden has officially rebranded the Biden Celestial Robotics with the color deep royal blue. The change reflects the stabilization of blah 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 blah. The new hue represents the deep vacuum of space and the inevitable reach of the dynasty's robotic arm. Okay, we've given Japan, China. We've taken more of Europe. More of Europe. Central Asia. Wallachia, Bar, North Transylvania. More of South Asia. Oceania. What parts of Oceania? Oh, small little islands. Iberia. Okay, we just annexed almost everything. We've reclaimed the steppes. We've wiped out Castle Dracula with a UV bombardment. We've pacified the avian. Hold on. The flightless threat is no more. Order returns to the outback through the grace of the dynasty General Harambe X. A new calendar is given to the theocracy. This is what happens in 2023. Biden has annexed his close allies. The human instrumentality instrument has begun. Ally John Joe Biden is defeated, overextended, and out of it. Miku becomes the queen. Taking over all of that. The entire world is now under Miku. The world is hers. We've done it. There's only one country left in the entire world. The United Vocaloid Hegemony. Okay. Okay, I gotta edit this now. This was stupid. This was terrible. I killed at least 40 dolphins doing this. Yeah. All this just to put Miku in charge at the end. This is terrible. This is stupid.